Hi there, I'm Wild Humphrey, and they call me the Fact Master because I'll tell you all those things you never knew you didn't know, and some that you'd probably do. Now, I'm on the subject of US presidents, and I'm up to number 22, and the 22nd president of America was Grover Cleveland. And when he was sworn in, he actually said those famous 35 words: I do solemnly swear that I shall faithfully execute the office of President of the United States and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. And he said it word perfect. And what he did was famous. When he moved into the White House, he was actually a single man. He was a bachelor, probably the country's most eligible bachelor at the time, considering he was the president and all. And whilst in office, he met, or he knew, a lady named Frances Folsom. So what they did, on the 2nd of June 1886, halfway through his presidency, him and Frances tied the knot, and there were wedding bells in the White House for the first and only time ever thus far. He was 49, she was 21. That's a fact. And he served his term out. At the end of his 4 years, his time was up. He was out, and in came Benjamin Harrison. And Benjamin Harrison, 23rd President of America, was the grandson of the 9th President. And the 9th President was the guy, William Henry Harrison, who only served 32 days before he became the first president to die in office. Well, that didn't happen to Benjamin. He served out his 4 years. Thank you very much. I enjoyed it enough, but when it was over, it was over. Brings us to president number 24. Who would it be but only Grover Cleveland all over again? Now obviously he was still married, so there were no more wedding bells, but Grover's real name was Stephen, and he is the only president in history, and will be the only ever president in history, to serve 2 separate terms in the White House, because the rules have changed now. Can't do that anymore. So he was the 22nd and 24th President of America. He said the oath twice, and he thoroughly enjoyed himself, and that's a fact. Brings us to President number 25. Now, the 25th President was a guy named William McKinley. And McKinley, well, he's famous for a couple of things. Firstly, when he took office, he quite fancied the idea of Hawaii becoming part of America. The Hawaiians didn't want that at all. In fact, the lady known as the last princess of Hawaii campaigned vigorously for Hawaii to stay independent from America. But McKinley wasn't having any of this. So in 1898, on the 12th of August, he signed the order for Hawaii to be annexed. And this last princess, whose name was Victoria, was broken-hearted, and she died the following year on the 6th of March. And they couldn't find out what was wrong with her, so they declared she died of a broken heart. Of course, Hawaii is now one of the 50 states. In fact, it's the 50th state. It was signed into the states as the last one in 1959 on August 21st. But it's the only state that has a palace, and on its flag there's a Union Jack, and that's a fact. Now, McKinley saw the country from the 19th century into the 20th century, and it was on the 6th of September 1901 going about his business, he was shot by an assassin's bullet. Don't know if it had anything to do with Hawaii or not, but we do know that's when he was shot, and he succumbed to that bullet on September 14th. And that was the end of William McKinley, the 25th president. Now he was replaced by a guy who became very famous indeed. He was the first of two Roosevelts. This was Theodore, known as Teddy Roosevelt. He was sworn in on the 14th of September 1901 as the 26th president, and he said, "I'm going to talk calmly and carry a big stick." And Roosevelt was very well liked. He served 2 terms. People had no problem voting for Roosevelt. Even there was a time in 1902, in the November of that year, he was on a hunting trip, and it was in the middle of November, and the rest of the party, they'd all seemed to have shot something, and Teddy Roosevelt hadn't shot a thing. So what they did, they got this bear, surrounded with dogs, tied ropes to it, and said, "Here, Teddy, you can shoot this bear." And he refused, absolutely refused. He said, "If I can't shoot it hunting, I'm not going to shoot it at all." They let the bear go. A couple of days later, a guy wrote a piece about Teddy and this bear, and so the teddy bear was created, and that's a fact. The teddy bear is named after Theodore Roosevelt, the 26th President of America. Not only is he 26th President of America, he's also the 4th President to appear on Mount Rushmore, along with George Washington, Thomas Jefferson and Abraham Lincoln. President number 27 was William Howard Taft. Big Bill Taft, they called him. He was a big guy. He wasn't the tallest president. That was Abraham Lincoln, 6'4", but Big Bill Taft was a big fella, like a brick wall he was built. He was made to be president. Everything about his life had set him up, all his learnings, schooling, everything. Big Bill. And while he was in office, America were at war with the Philippines. And Big Bill, he wanted to make light of this war. And he even said, "Look, these are mine." He actually described the Philippine people as "my little brown friends." This is while the war was going on. And his soldiers, the US Army, they said, made up this little rhyme: "You may be a friend of Big Bill Taft, but you ain't no friend of mine." And that's a fact. They didn't have that to fact on it, but the rest of it, you with me. Next president was the guy who took America through World War I, or part of it anyway. And I'll be talking about him next time. In the meantime, everything I've told you is from up here. And what I've done, what's up here, I've now put some of it in anyway in here. Wild About Facts. I tell you all the things you never knew you didn't know, and the stories for every day of the year, and they're all in here. And that's a fact. It's I would say, of course, being the author, what people tell me, it's a fabulous read. You can pick it up when you want, put it down when you want. The great thing, you never need ever to turn the corner of a page. And just remember where you're up to with ease. And that's a fact. So I'll be back soon with some more US presidents. In the meantime, take it easy.